Being black is often misunderstood by those who don't walk in our shoes, people who can't fully grasp the depths of our history, our resilience, and our endless power. The world may try to define us, put us in a box, and make us fit a narrative that's not ours. But there are truths about being black that go beyond what is commonly seen, heard, or understood. These truths don't just make us strong, they make us legendary. Today I want to share with you 5 things no one told you about being black, 5 powerful truths that define us, elevate us, and remind us why we are destined for greatness. Well, listen closely, because these aren't just facts, they are keys to unlocking the power that is already within you. Your history is not your limitation, it's your foundation. Your history, particularly as a black person, is often seen by the world through a lens of struggle, suffering, and oppression. The painful chapters of slavery, segregation, and racism may weigh heavily on the mind. However, it's essential to understand that your history is not a limitation. It is, in fact, the very foundation that has been built with the bricks of resilience, strength, and unyielding survival. Every challenge faced by those who came before you has shaped an incredible person you are today. Your ancestors endured unimaginable hardships, but they did so with a strength that continues to flow through your veins. The power of their spirit lives in you, even when the world tries to minimize or ignore their sacrifices. The very act of surviving is a triumph, and each generation that has come before you has paved the way for your freedom, your possibilities, and your destiny. We often hear the phrase, your history doesn't define you, and while it's true that we should never be confined by our past, the importance of history is not in being limited by it, but in drawing power from it. The resilience of those who fought against slavery, the courage of those who faced the brutality of segregation, and the fortitude of those who stood up against racial injustice are not just stories, they are living, breathing testaments to the indomitable strength that runs through your bloodline. Your ancestors did not fight for you to remain silent, to shrink, or to believe you are less than. They fought for your right to exist freely, to be proud, and to live with dignity. Their struggle is your foundation, and from it, you rise with the same strength, the same dignity, and the same purpose. It's easy to look at your history and feel burdened by the weight of what has been endured. However, it's critical to shift your perspective and see it for what it truly is, the bedrock upon which you stand. Your history is a reminder of what you are capable of enduring and overcoming. Every trial faced by your forebears has equipped you with the mental, emotional, and spiritual tools necessary to face any adversity. The very legacy of survival is your foundation, giving you the resilience to face the challenges that come your way with confidence and courage. The history of black people is filled with stories of overcoming systemic oppression, from the civil rights movement to the modern-day struggles for justice. These aren't just historical events, they are living legacies. They remind you that you are part of a lineage that has faced insurmountable odds and emerged victorious time and time again. The strength of your ancestors doesn't just live in the past, it lives in you, empowering you to keep pushing forward, to reach higher, and to achieve greater things than you may have ever imagined. Your history does not dictate your future, rather it equips you to redefine the future in your own terms. You are not confined to the limitations imposed upon you by others. You are empowered by the legacy of greatness that runs through you. The perseverance and determination that carried your ancestors to freedom and beyond are the very qualities that will propel you to new heights, to new possibilities, and to new opportunities. Embrace your history not as a burden, but as a foundation. Build upon it. Let it remind you of your limitless potential. You are the product of generations of strength, and that makes you unstoppable. So never see your history as something that holds you back. Instead, use it as a launchpad for your greatness. Your ancestors have already fought for you. They've already laid the groundwork. Now it's your turn to rise, to build, and to make your own legendary mark on the world. Your history is not your limitation, it is your foundation. And it's time to build upon it. 2, your voice is a weapon of change. There is incredible power in your voice, more than you may realize. Your voice, whether in speech, song, art, or action, is a tool that can shift the tide, break barriers, and make lasting change. It is not just about the words you speak, but about the courage, the truth, and the force behind them. Your voice is a weapon of change, capable of confronting injustice, speaking truth to power, and creating movements that can transform society. Throughout history, the Black community has used its voice to challenge oppression and demand equality. From the speeches of leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Angela Davis, to the powerful lyrics of Nina Simone, Tupac Shakur, and Beyonce, Black voices have been at the forefront of societal change. These individuals understood that their voice was not just a tool for communication, it was a weapon. They knew that their words had the power to inspire, to educate, and to mobilize entire communities. Your voice, too, has that power. In a world that often tries to silence marginalized voices, speaking out becomes an act of resistance. When you speak up, whether it's for justice, equality, or simply for yourself, you are claiming your space and making it known that you will not be erased. Your voice is a declaration of your humanity, your worth, and your right to be heard. It is an undeniable force that cannot be ignored. But too often, we are taught to suppress our voices, to fit in with societal norms, or to remain silent in the face of injustice. We are told that speaking out will cause trouble, that our opinions don't matter, or that we should keep the peace. These are lies meant to stifle your power. Your voice is meant to be used, not hidden. It's meant to speak truth, to challenge the status quo, and to stand up against the wrongs you see in the world. Using your voice as a weapon of change doesn't always mean making a grand speech or leading a protest, though those actions are powerful. It can also be the quiet, everyday moments when you speak up against microaggressions, educate others on issues of race and injustice, or stand firm in your beliefs despite opposition. Your voice is a catalyst for change, no matter how big or small the action. When you speak your truth, you are creating a ripple effect, encouraging others to find their own voices and stand with you. Think about the movements that have shifted history: the Civil Rights Movement, Black Lives Matter, and countless other campaigns for justice. They all began with individuals who chose to raise their voices. Whether it was Rosa Parks saying no to segregation, or the mothers of slain Black men and women demanding accountability, these moments of speaking out were pivotal in sparking the change that followed. Your voice has the power to start movements, to challenge norms, and to create the change you wish to see in the world. And it's not just the loud, public voices that matter. Your private conversations, your social media posts, your art, and your activism are equally valuable. The beauty of having a voice today is that you can amplify it across various platforms. With the power of social media and other tools at your fingertips, your words can reach millions. Whether you're calling attention to a local issue or raising awareness about systemic injustice, your voice can spread far and wide, touching hearts and minds in ways that were once impossible. But it's also important to remember that your voice should always be rooted in truth, love, and justice. When you speak from a place of authenticity and integrity, your voice becomes even more powerful. The world can feel your sincerity, and it's that truth that inspires others to listen, reflect, and take action. Never underestimate the power of your voice. It is not just a tool for expression, it is a weapon for change. Whether you are speaking out against racism, inequality, or simply advocating for your rights, your voice holds the power to transform lives and communities. You have a voice, and that voice can be the spark that ignites the fire of change. So speak boldly, speak truthfully, and use your voice to build the world you want to see. Your voice is powerful. Use it to change the world for the better. 3. You have an unshakable resilience that makes you unstoppable. In a world that constantly tries to knock you down, to challenge your worth, or to break your spirit, there's one truth that remains. You have an unshakable resilience within you. This resilience is not something that is simply handed to you. nor is it something that can be taken away. It is the strength that flows through your veins, the result of generations of survival, struggle, and triumph. This resilience makes you unstoppable, a force that, no matter the storm, will always rise, stand tall, and move forward. Black people have faced centuries of oppression, from the brutality of slavery to the enduring effects of racism and equality that persist today. And yet, throughout it all, Black people have remained resilient. In the face of unimaginable suffering, they found a way to survive. In the face of dehumanization, they fought to assert their humanity. That resilience is not just a characteristic, it's a legacy that continues to shape every Black person's life. Resilience is the ability to endure, to keep going when it seems like everything around you is falling apart. It's the courage to keep moving forward, even when the odds are stacked against you. Resilience is not about avoiding hardships or pretending they don't exist. Rather, it's about facing adversity head-on, learning from it, and growing stronger with every challenge you overcome. Your resilience is woven into the fabric of your very being. It was passed down to you by your ancestors, those who survived atrocities far beyond our comprehension. Their strength, their unwavering determination to persevere, is now a part of you. You carry their spirit, their fight, their will to endure. When the world tells you that you can't, your resilience whispers that you can. When it seems like all hope is lost, your resilience reminds you that there is always a way forward. It is the inner strength that pushes you to keep going, even when you feel like giving up. One of the most powerful aspects of your resilience is that it doesn't just help you survive, it helps you thrive. Resilience is not simply about enduring hardship, it's about emerging from it stronger and more capable. Black people have not just survived, they have excelled, creating art, music, literature, and movements that have transformed the world. This resilience has given birth to revolutionary ideas, to cultural innovations, to movements for justice and equality. Resilience also means learning to adapt and bounce back from failure. It's about knowing that setbacks are a part of the journey, not the end of it. In a society that too often tells you no, resilience is the voice that says try again. It's the refusal to be defined by your mistakes, but instead to view them as lessons that push you closer to success. Every challenge you face builds your strength, and each obstacle becomes a stepping stone toward your ultimate goals. But resilience isn't something that exists in a vacuum. It grows when we lean on one another, when we come together in community, and when we lift each other up. Our collective resilience is a force more powerful than any individual challenge. By supporting one another, sharing our stories, and standing in solidarity, we create an unshakable network of strength that can withstand anything the world throws at us. You are unstoppable because you have this unshakable resilience. When life challenges you, when the world tries to bring you down, your resilience is your shield, your armor, and your weapon. It makes you relentless in the pursuit of your goals and unbreakable in the face of adversity. Never underestimate the power of your resilience. It is not just something you possess, it is something that defines you. It is the force that has carried generations before you and will continue to carry generations after you. Your resilience makes you unstoppable, so walk with confidence, knowing that you have the strength to face anything that comes your way. Nothing can break you, because within you lies an unshakable force that will always rise. 4. You were born with a richness of culture that is unmatched. The richness of Black culture is something that cannot be replicated or diluted. It is an inheritance that runs deep within you, a tapestry of traditions, art, music, history, and resilience that no other culture in the world can match. You were born into a culture that is not only beautiful and diverse, but one that has influenced and shaped the world in ways that are often overlooked. The vibrancy, creativity, and strength of Black culture are the cornerstones of your identity, and they are what make you truly extraordinary. From the very beginning of your existence, you carry with you the stories of your ancestors, their triumphs, struggles, and brilliance. You are the continuation of a legacy that spans across continents, from Africa to the Americas, from the Caribbean to Europe, and beyond. Every part of the world where black people have settled, they have brought with them a culture that is rich in art, language, food, spirituality, and music. From the rhythms of West African drums to the soulful sounds of gospel, jazz, blues, and hip-hop, black culture has left an indelible mark on every corner of the globe. In the face of centuries of adversity, black people have created, innocelled, and excelled in every field imaginable. You are the heir to this extraordinary legacy of creativity and ingenuity. From the world-changing inventions of people like George Washington Carver and Garrett Morgan to the groundbreaking art and literature of figures like Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, and Jean-Michel Basquiat, the contributions of black individuals have shaped the very fabric of society. Your culture is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to be celebrated, for it is what has sustained and empowered countless generations before you. Black culture is not only defined by its history and art, it is woven into everyday life. It is seen in the way you move, the way you speak, the way you dress, and the way you interact with the world. There is power in the traditions passed down from your ancestors, whether it's through the vibrant celebrations of Juneteenth, Kwanzaa, or Carnival, or the family gatherings that bring generations together to share food, stories, and wisdom. Black culture is a living, breathing force that infuses everything you do. What makes your culture truly unmatched is the deep sense of pride that comes with it. Black culture is rooted in resilience, in overcoming the most impossible odds and still thriving. It is the embodiment of strength, dignity, and hope in the face of adversity. It is the spirit that has been passed down from those who endured slavery, segregation, and racism, yet still managed to preserve their humanity and their sense of self-worth. That spirit is in you, and it is part of what makes you unbreakable. At the heart of black culture is also a deep sense of community. No matter where you go, you will find a connection to the collective strength and unity of your people. Whether it's through music, food, dance, or shared experiences, the bonds within black communities are unshakable. This sense of belonging and togetherness is a powerful force that helps you navigate the challenges of the world. Your culture has survived, thrived, and flourished because it is rich with resilience, creativity, and purpose. You were born into a culture that has contributed to the world in ways that are immeasurable. The beauty of your heritage is something that should be worn with pride, cherished, and celebrated every day. The richness of your culture is unmatched, and it is a powerful reminder of who you are and what you are capable of. You are a living testament to the strength, creativity, and brilliance of black culture, and that alone makes you extraordinary. You never forget the greatness that flows through your veins. 5. You are a living example of resistance, hope, and triumph. In a world that has often sought to undermine your worth, your potential, and your dignity, you stand as a living testament to the enduring power of resistance, hope, and triumph. Your very existence is a victory, and every day you walk in the strength of your ancestors, carrying with you the legacy of their struggles, their resilience, and their unwavering belief in a brighter future. From the very beginning, you were part of a long history of black people who resisted oppression and fought for their freedom, rights, and humanity. Resistance is woven into the fabric of your identity. From the brave souls who stood up against slavery to the activists who marched for civil rights and equality, the history of your people is filled with powerful examples of resistance. But this resistance is not just about fighting against external forces, it's about the internal strength to refuse to let circumstances define you, to keep going even when the world tells you no, and to fight for your place in a world that tries to ignore your existence. Every time you stand tall, every time you push back against the forces that seek to oppress you, you are carrying forward a legacy of resistance that stretches back for generations. But resistance alone is not enough. In addition to resisting, you embody hope. Hope is the belief that change is not just possible, but inevitable. Hope is a fuel that keeps you moving forward when the journey seems impossible, when the odds feel stacked against you, and when the road ahead appears to be filled with obstacles. Hope is the belief that a better future is on the horizon, even when the present is painful. And that hope is rooted in the resilience of those who came before you, the warriors, the visionaries, and the dreamers who never gave up, even when the world tried to crush their spirits. Your hope is not naive, it is grounded in the reality of your own experiences and those of your people. It is the hope that says, despite the challenges you face, you are capable of rising above them. It is the hope that pushes you to keep striving, to keep fighting for justice, equality, and the recognition of your humanity. It is the belief that despite everything, you can still find a way to succeed, to thrive, and to live a life that is meaningful, powerful, and full of purpose. This hope is not just something that you hold inside, it radiates outward, inspiring others to rise with you, to take action, and to join in the fight for a better tomorrow. And your triumphs are a testament to the power of resistance and hope. Each victory you achieve, no matter how small, is a triumph over the forces that have sought to hold you down. Whether it's personal success, overcoming adversity, or fighting for the rights of others, every triumph is a reminder that you are capable of achieving greatness, no matter the circumstances. Your triumphs are proof that the challenges you face do not define you, they strengthen you, and they push you to rise higher. Your resilience, your resistance, your hope, and your triumphs are all part of a larger story, a story that has been written over centuries by the hands of those who refuse to be broken, who refuse to be silenced, and who fought with everything they had to create a better world. You are a living example of that story. Every step you take forward, every barrier you break, every dream you achieve is a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome, to rise, and to triumph. In conclusion, never underestimate the power you hold within. You are a living example of resistance, hope, and triumph, and the world is watching you. Your journey is one of strength and courage, and with every victory you inspire others to continue the fight for justice, equality, and a brighter future. Stand tall in the knowledge that you are part of a legacy of greatness, and that your life is a powerful example of what happens when resilience, hope, and determination come together. You are unstoppable, and your triumph is the proof of it.